90-degree cut. I started off by consulting with my client and then shampooing her, and then now I'm draping her. I'm using a neck strip instead of a towel, that way the hair lays flat on the back and the towel will not create any bulk. I'm also using a nylon cape, that way the hair just slides off of it. And then I'm going to use my wide tooth comb to detangle her. After her hair is all detangled, I'm going to use my cutting comb to section her. I'm taking a section, I'm going to do the 4 quadrants, so I'm taking a section straight from the forehead, the middle of the forehead, down to the nape, and then I'm going to find her apex, which is the highest point on her head, and I'm going to go from the apex down to the back of the ear. Sections. I'm going to start first in the front, and I'm going to cut a guide for my haircut. I'm pulling this 90 degrees off of the head, and then I'm making a cut. You'll see me pull it down to where I can see what I'm cutting. I like to cut at the same level as my eyes, but it's important to only do this if you have experience in doing it, because you don't want to release any tension when you pull it down to your eye level. Tension is very important when cutting. It's important to keep the same tension throughout the cut, that way you don't end up with pieces shorter or longer than what you meant for them to be. So after I cut that guide, I'm just going to take a vertical subsection, and I'm going to pull that hair up to the 90-degree level that I cut in the beginning. Combing is also very important. I'm using my comb and combing the hair away from me. That way I have better control of the hair. And then once I get done with the section that I cut, I brush that out of my way, and then I grab another section. I'm taking about 1-inch sections, and I'm about 10% of the 1-inch section that I cut is hair that I've already cut, and I'm using that as my guide for the next section. Horizontal sections and cross-check. Then I'm going to move to the next front quadrant, and I'm just resaturating that hair, that way I have the same saturation throughout my cut. And I'm going to use a front piece from the previous quadrant that I had cut as a guide for my second quadrant. So here I am just cutting that guide, and then I'm going to repeat the same steps that I did in the first quadrant on the second. steps that I did in the first 2 quadrants. Again, picking vertical sections in the back to follow the shape of her head. So after I finished with that back quadrant, I just clipped it out of my way, and I'm finishing up my last back quadrant, again repeating the same steps as the first 3. And then I'm just going to go in with horizontal sections and cross-check my work, and then I'm going to blow dry and style her hair. That this look really enhances natural wave if your client does have that, so I just lightly blow dried like her roots, and then I left her hair just kind of to naturally air dry on the mid shaft towards the ends. I just wanted to make sure that those roots got dried to give her some volume.